happening right now where a young woman... Okay, you guys, there is a very strange thing happening right now where a young woman with absolutely zero professional qualifications has been inserted at the top of a charity organization that pulled in over $250 million last year. And the media is telling you that you have no right to know or to ask anything about her. The argument being made is that her husband was murdered. Therefore, she has a right to assume the position. And despite the fact that Turning Point USA is a literal charity, and therefore it's not even have to pay tax on that $250 million plus or pay tax on
Today on the Matt Walsh Show, I can no longer ignore the conspiracy theories that are being spread about Erika Kirk, and I will debunk them today. Ladies and gentlemen, Candace Owens is yet on another series, and this time around, she is investigating the widow of Charlie Kirk. We all know Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk was murdered in broad daylight by, they told us, is a trans-hating American, a young white American who hates people, and he hated Charlie Kirk. That is what they told us. But Candace Owens is not buying that bullshit. Candace Owens said, I call this cap. I am not buying what the FBI and those who are in support of Erika Kirk are saying. So, Candace Owens, first of all, she dropped a trailer. 1 minute, 20 seconds trailer. And the internet went wild. If you can see the videos that were made by those supporting Erika Kirk, those videos, these guys, if they see Candace Owens anywhere in public, they are going to do something that is going to be regrettable. Anyway, welcome again to DB Unfiltered. My name is Dewey Banaking, and I am the one running this channel. If you can subscribe, if you can like the video, if you can comment, are you interested in these things happening in America or you are not? They are awesome. You have to, because you will have something to entertain yourself with. So, first of all, before we go on that trailer, let's check what Matt Walsh has got to say about Candace Owens. Let's just check.
Radicalism. Trans radicals are murdering people in this country constantly. There is nothing at all surprising or implausible about the idea that they also killed Charlie Kirk. Now, you can go back and watch that episode to hear that case laid out. I hope you do if you haven't seen it. Today, I want to focus instead on the increasingly aggressive and single-minded attack.
Let me just forward it a little bit.
As you may have seen, last night Candace debuted a new series called The Bride of Charlie, which purports to tell us the sinister truth about Erika. This, of course, didn't come out of nowhere. For weeks now, Candace has openly suggested that Erika may have committed a crime in connection with her husband's murder. For example, here she was a couple of weeks ago stating that the police should detain Erika and subject her to interrogation. Watch.
Look, I have seen enough, ladies and gentlemen. I've seen enough. Erika Kirk should be dragged into a police precinct for questioning. Like I said, you can show me the person who disagrees with me on that after I will reveal to you what we can now confirm. You can show me that individual and I will show you a full blown fraud. That's the only people that would disagree with that assessment.
What has he got to say about that?
There isn't enough evidence to justify dragging her into a police precinct, much less charging her with the crime, much less convicting her. There isn't any evidence, actual positive evidence, that Erika has committed any crime or covered up any crime or had any.
Yeah, but if Candace Owens is saying that out loud, has she got any evidence to prove what she's saying? I might just remind you all, guys, that Candace Owens was also the one who was pushing this. I don't know if it is true or false, but she was saying that Bridget Macron was born a man. And also that Emmanuel Macron is related somehow to Bridget Macron. That one got all of us confused. We are asking, are you saying that Bridget Macron was born a man? Or are you telling us that she was born a man and she is now a woman and also related to the person who is married to her? That one got all of us confused. And if you're telling the world that Erika Kirk should be taken to the police and charged, is that not defamation? Can Erika Kirk not sue Candace Owens for defaming her? Because if you're pointing a finger at her, the widow of Charlie Kirk was gunned down in broad daylight, is that not defaming her? Is that not going to cause a repeatable damage to her personality? Because wherever she goes, people might be pointing a finger and saying, there are rumors that she had a hand in the assassination of her husband. So if that is the case, and Erika Kirk is sitting on close to $500 million that has poured in the TP, what's it called, Turning Point USA organization, can she not sue Candace Owens? Or is there something in what Candace Owens is saying? Because really, if there is nothing, then she should be bringing a lawsuit. It's still early. We don't know. Maybe the lawsuit is still being put together. We don't know. Maybe they are waiting for Candace Owens to run the whole of this series, this investigative series on Erika Kirk before they will bring the lawsuit. But if the things that she is saying are false, then definitely there's going to be a lawsuit. Definitely. Just like the Bridget Macron case.
Any involvement in any crime, to include especially the crime of murdering her husband. And that's why, although the innuendos about Erika may be compelling fodder for YouTube videos, they would not be compelling to a grand jury or a prosecutor or a judge. If you took everything that's been said about Erika or implied and tried to present it as evidence in a court of law, you would be laughed out of the room. There's no case here. There's no evidence of anything. Now, these attacks on Erika by Candace and by everyone else engaged in this campaign are wrong, deeply, desperately wrong. Wrong morally and factually. They are wrong morally because they are wrong factually. The whole crux.
All right, let us go and check first of all the trailer. When we check the trailer, we are going to check episode 1, episode 2, and episode 3. We're just going to check some part of it because they're really long. And by the way, before we even check the episodes, do you know how many million views she's got in those 3 episodes? Just the first one had 4 million views. So is she there for the views and the money? Or is she actually telling us that she's done a thorough investigation and she has proof that Erika Kirk is a fraud? That is a question that a lot of people are asking. Because we should not forget that all those, the docuseries that she did on on Bridget Macron had millions and millions of views. And she made loads of money from those views. Only on YouTube itself. The 8-part docuseries that she did on Bridget Macron has close to 20 plus million views. How much is that? 20 plus million views. It was viewed all over the world. And the thing with Candace Owens is she is a master at presenting these videos and this series. The way she speaks, so calm. The way she makes it is so captivating that once you start to watch the first part, you will want to watch the second part, you want to watch the third part, and before you know it, you're always checking, when is Candace on live? When is Candace on live? What is she saying this time around? She knows how to, she knows how to do it. She is good at what she does.
President Trump says that Kirk has died after he was shot from a nearby building
after being shot at Utah Valley University.
The great and even legendary Charlie Kirk is dead.
The cries of this widow will echo around the world like a battle cry.
So this is the trailer. The trailer, the views as compared to the views of the first episode, second episode, and third episode is not that much. It's only 1.4 million in 4 days. But 1.4 million is still a huge number. It's still a huge number of views. So this trailer, once it dropped, the internet went wild. Supporters of Erika Kirk, they were almost like kicking them, banging their heads on the wall. They were screaming, shouting, and saying all sorts of things. They had not even seen the first episode. They did not even know what she was going to be saying. But we all know Candace Owens. We all have watched her make videos about Erika Kirk. We all know that she has not got a lot of positive about Erika Kirk. Because some people used to say Candace Owens might have fancied Charlie Kirk because they say they were best friends. And Candace Owens was there before Erika Kirk. And don't forget, Candace Owens' husband is white. So if you put those two things together, you can say, yeah, she has always been somebody who liked the mayonnaise. And she did not get that first one. And guess what? She might have been thinking, women, that this bitch came and took my man. And now she has murdered my man. And because of the way that Erika Kirk has been behaving since the death of the assassination of Charlie Kirk, it also gives Candace Owens that hatred of her. But anyway, let's finish the trailer.
I didn't even get to give him a kiss goodbye. That young man, I forgive him.
Some of these looks like fake. It looks almost like she's faking it. It looks like it's not real. Like, yeah, when she said, that young man, I forgive him. Looking into the sky. It doesn't look genuine. It doesn't look natural.
I forgive him.
Look at that. It doesn't look natural.
Take your time.
Erika Kirk has been named the new CEO of Turkey.
This was the worst one.
My husband's dead.
This was the worst one. This was leaked to Candace Owens. Your husband cannot be assassinated, killed in broad daylight. The manner in which he was killed, almost like he was in a war zone. And then you make the memorial service. There is fireworks. You're wearing glitter. You're not even wearing black. Normally, a woman will wear black and she will wear a hat that covers her face because she's mourning. But she had all face full of makeup, glittering suit, fireworks. Like, it was almost like a festival. It was almost like a festival celebrating that the guy was murdered. It wasn't a memorial. A memorial is more like you're finding peace, it's quiet, it's calm. You're giving people that environment to really take it in. But this one was a celebration. Fireworks everywhere. And the worst one, they even made a tent. The same kind of tent that Charlie Kirk was sitting under when he was killed. People were taking pictures in that tent. And the focus was raising money. So I kind of understand.
Morbid, but he's dead.
It's weird
Listen.
to say excited. Describes her husband's funeral as the event of the century.
How?
Hats.
We have
Hats.
50,000 plus hat orders.
Nobody knows why she's out there in a glittering pantsuit in a recreated tent that her husband tragically was murdered in, throwing merch out.
It's throwing much out.
So if someone's acting weird, don't read into that.
Zionists, the Prime Minister of Israel, all lied through their teeth about Charlie Kirk.
Her operation was in Constanta, the epicenter of Romania's trafficking scandal.
Weird conversations to have with a 15-year-old.
You see, these are some of the things that are not adding up. It's almost like Candace Owens is telling us that Erika Kirk is a plant that was planted to watch over Charlie Kirk. That is what she's trying to tell us. She was put in that position to make sure that she watched over Charlie Kirk because the TPS USA was growing. And they knew that they needed Turning Point USA. So they needed somebody to make sure they watch Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk should not deviate from the objective. It should stay focused. Make sure you stay in line. If you go offline, we are taking you out. And now, Candace Owens has decided to dig into the past of Erika Kirk. Those who are kicking and screaming, you need to actually watch and let's see. I know it's wrong. I know it's wrong because she just lost her husband and they have got 2 kids. But also, if we are trying to say it's wrong, She is the one who is putting herself into the limelight. She is the one who is putting herself into the public. Your husband cannot be murdered in that way, in broad daylight, televised. It was gruesome. And you are telling us that in 2 weeks, you are over it? You are telling us that in 2 weeks, you've decided to go back and do things as if nothing happened. How can she forget that quick? Some women, not only women, any human being would take a long time to grieve and to really take in what just happened. For some women, even to even be in public will not be easy. Some people might take 6 months to a year to actually grieve. But she took 2 weeks. 2 weeks. So, imagine if, let's say it's not Charlie Kirk. Imagine if a CEO of a big company was murdered like Charlie Kirk. Just imagine this. And then, after 2 weeks, the wife assumed the seat as CEO of the company. And the wife is all over making interviews, dressing up as if nothing happened. There's no sign of grieving. There's no sign of mourning for the death of your husband. Imagine what people will be thinking. Everybody will be pointing a finger at her that you most likely paid for the murder of your husband. Because everything is showing that you do not care. Everything is pointing to the fact that you are not grieving. How can you forget that quick? For the sake of your children, you mourn, take your children, keep your children away from the public eye. You yourself stay, lean back, allow people, because there were people already that were running that organization with Charlie Kirk. It's not like you have to all of a sudden change everything. There are people who are running. Stay back and let them report to you. Even if you want to take the seat of your husband, you can do that maybe after 6 months. Not in people's faces. And imagine the amount of money that Turning Point USA has got. Imagine the influence that they had during the presidential election that President Trump won. And let's not forget that Candace Owens said Charlie Kirk told her that he was not backing Israel anymore. Charlie Kirk was also speaking about the children that are being killed in Gaza. Charlie Kirk was saying it's not right to just bomb Gaza and kill children. But everybody wants everybody to support Israel. No matter what Israel is doing to Gaza, everybody wants people to be like, yes, kill them, kill them, kill them, because of October 7th. So because of October 7th, you have to kill how many? 15,000, 20,000 children who had nothing to do with what happened in October 7th. So Charlie Kirk was like, no, I've had it. I've had it. And guess where the money from Turning Point USA comes from? From that side. They are the ones making those huge donations. But Charlie Kirk was saying that, no, I'm out of this. He was calling the Prime Minister of Israel out. He was already telling him that you are lying. A lot of people were saying that Charlie Kirk should go to Israel. Charlie Kirk said, I'm not going to Israel. Which means he was turning his back on Israel. And they were like, you cannot turn your back on us because we made you.
I'm going to touch your butt. $8.6 million to their own shell company.
What is going on?
We have nothing to hide. My aunt used to tell me, never do something that you don't want on the front page of a newspaper.
That is good. Never do something that you don't want in the front page of the papers. There is a part in, I think it's the first series, where Candace Owens said, Erika Kirk always say she was raised by her mom. But we just heard her said, my dad said, never do something that you don't want it to be in the front of papers. One of the lies. So you lie so much that you even forget that you are lying. That is the point. You lie so much that you even forget. So, let's check the start of the first series, The Bride of Charlie Kirk. But are we finished with this one? Let me see. Okay, first episode, February 20 feet. That first episode was good. 4 million plus views. The amount of YouTube reaction videos, they are crazy. So, Pride of Charlie, episode 1, I need to go back. Okay, let's see if we got it.
Happening right now where a young woman. Okay, you guys, there is a very strange thing happening right now where a young woman with absolutely zero professional qualifications has been inserted at the top of a charity organization that pulled in over $250 million last year. And the media is telling you you have no right to know or to ask anything about her. The argument being made.
Imagine the amount of money that they're pulling, $250 million.
And despite the fact that Turning Point USA
and they do not pay tax.
Charity, and therefore it's not even have to pay tax on that $250 million plus or pay tax on the alleged future billions that it's due to rake in thanks to a deal with a man named Pierre. These talking heads are claiming that the public simply wanting to ensure the person who is running that organization is, I don't know, at a bare minimum, moderately honest about who she says she is. No, that inquiry makes you a monster. So I guess your job is to head to work 9 to 5, receive a flurry of unsolicited emails and text messages reminding you that Charlie Kirk, the innocent man that you watched be executed in broad daylight live, you're to be reminded that that was her Charlie. My Charlie needs your help. Here's how you can give us your 401k and house.
Give more money, more money.
Landing into your inbox.
More money. We want more money from you.
Things like that. There's virtually nothing that the feds are telling us about his murder that makes any objective sense. But if you're feeling weird about any of that, you're reminded constantly that she is a grieving widow. She's a grieving widow. That sentence, in my opinion, is this year's Trust the Science. She's a grieving widow. The mainstream media.
How can you say somebody is a grieving widow when she is all over television? How can you say she's a grieving widow? She is not grieving. She has just moved on. She's giving interviews everywhere. She's running the business already. She is selling merchandise. She's telling the people that we are going to make it big. I even watched one of the interviews where she said there is so much content that they haven't yet put out. That Charlie Kirk made so much content and they haven't yet put those content out. And also, still from Candace Owens, there was a picture that Erika Kirk was sat on Charlie's seat, but their wedding photo that was always behind Charlie Kirk wasn't there. So how then will Candace Owens not start thinking like, something is not adding up with this woman. Something is not adding up and we need to get to the bottom of it. And that's what she's doing. I don't know if every information that she's bringing out is true, but if it's a lie, a lawsuit is coming. If a lawsuit doesn't come at the end of this investigative series, then something definitely is fishy. But we'll see.
Of course, Zionists implied are effectively telling you to roll up your sleeves and get the vaccine again, dopes. Tyler Robinson did it. Erika Kirk is grieving. Please allow her to do so in the privacy of the billion-dollar charity that she took over. Remember when they did the 6 feet social distancing thing? They cast that spell. Let your granddad die alone in the hospital. If you desire to see your grandma this Thanksgiving, it's because you're a demon from the gates of hell. Yeah. Resist your human instincts. Obey the government. It's the same kind of messaging, the same kind of emotional manipulation, but it's a new year. Still have questions or concerns about who Erika Kirk is and why she seems to have lied many times on record? Well, you're Satan, and I'm sorry that you are. And also, I would like to remind you that you are destroying Charlie's legacy. Now, it is very important that I remind you, we haven't even said anything yet. A 2-minute trailer resulted in one of the most aggressive preemptive PR strikes that I have ever seen. They posted photos of my manager's infant daughter, my makeup artist, my family members. Lots of voicemail.
Yeah, to be honest, the internet went wild. And the best one is this guy, former assistant director of the FBI, Dan Bongino. Imagine Dan Bongino was in the office, assistant director of the FBI. There are actual victims in a case saying that we were raped by these billionaires. What did Dan Bongino do? Zip. There are files which are proving that what these victims are saying is the truth. What did Dan Bongino do? Zip. But now that Candace Owens is investigating Erika Kirk, Dan Bongino is going mad. The guy is going mad. How can you explain that somebody will be in an office where he is charged to investigate crimes that were committed on young girls by billionaires, by powerful men, by presidents, prince, so many powerful people in this planet, and the guy doesn't lift a finger? The guy says, I didn't see anything. There's nothing there. How can you have close to 1,000 victims and nobody is going down? How can you try to convince us that one person sexually assaulted close to 1,000, more than 1,000 girls, and did not traffic those girls to any other person? Before Dan Bongino had this job, he used to say that Epstein did not kill himself. But as soon as he got the job and he saw the files, he was like, oops, our guy is in the fire. I better shut my mouth. Now I need to change. He tried and tried and tried and tried. But he knew that, in a way, I cannot stay in this post because people are demanding accountability. What we promised them is that we're going to release all the files. And now that our guy is in the files, I don't know what to do other than to resign. And he resigned. And now he went crazy on Candace Owens. We have to check that. That's the only one we are going to check, because that one was crazy.
With both the president, Erika, and others. It's unfathomable how we live in a world where lunatics try to kill Donald Trump on a pretty sadly regular basis now. And then you've got other lunatics now out there spurring other crazies who may be able to, or may be looking at doing the same thing to others. It's just unfathomable that you would do that. This is no form of truth seeking.
You know, sometimes it bothers me. Sometimes I ask this question: Americans, are you guys all dumb? Do you guys really sit and tell me that you support Dan Bongino? This guy was picked to be the Assistant Director General of the FBI, to investigate crimes, to hold people accountable. This guy, before he was picked for that position, sat on this very seat in this very studio, spent hundreds of hours of time talking about the Epstein files, about the cabal of people who have been committing crimes, about how people are going to go down. But he had not seen the files. He even said he do not believe that Epstein committed suicide. That is what he sold. That is what he made plenty of money. But as soon as he got into that chair, he got on that seat, as soon as he was in that room where the real files were, as soon as he opened the files and saw what was inside and saw the people and saw the name of the guy who picked him for that job, because I don't think anybody on this planet can sit and say Donald Trump didn't do anything wrong. Because if Donald Trump truly, yes, I know people are going to say, yes, he's friends. But what happens if you see somebody committing a crime? But what happens if you are in the same environment? If you're in the same room and you see somebody committing a crime, what says about you? You are an accomplice because you were in that same room, you saw it. Not only saw it, that person was your friend. You went to see him in that room and you actually saw him committing the crime. So definitely, he's going down too. And I'm going to say this. I believe in my soul, in my being, that Donald Trump did things. Because it's not only believing, he said it himself. How many times has Donald Trump told us what he likes to do with women? How many times has Donald Trump expressed or say the things that he does to beautiful girls? Grabbing them by the P-U-S-S-Y. Kissing them even when they don't want to kiss him. Because what? He's a celebrity. He's a billionaire. He's famous. If somebody at that age, the time Donald Trump said that he was what, 74, 75, above 70, any person above 70, a man who speaks like that, know that he used to do those things, because at that age, there's nothing. You stand to gain nothing when you use those words, when you speak like that. When we are getting older, they say we get wiser and wiser, because there's nothing to prove to anybody. And then people try to twist it around that it was just locker talk. Locker talk is meant for young boys who are still trying to prove to each other that I'm tough, I can do this, yes, I can do this. Not for people at that, not for elderly people, elderly statesmen. Elderly statesmen speak with some, the words that come out of their mouth should be with dignity, because people are looking up to them. It's not locker talk. So when Dan Bongino sits there and is making all this serious face.
Let's not play the euphemisms game. This is about one thing and one thing only. Making your ego the center of the entire universe.
Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
You shall not mistreat any widow or fatherless child. If you do, that's why I say these guys are hypocrites. Why is he now quoting the Bible? I don't know. I don't like when Americans are quoting the Bible, because they do not live by the Bible. They are wicked. America is a wicked nation. They do not live by the Bible. They are using God's name in vain. By the way, if you ask them where Jesus came from, they do not even know, because to them they think Jesus was white. That's where you get it wrong. Once you start trying to convince yourself that Jesus was white. So are you telling us that people in Asia or people in the Arab world are all white? Because Jesus was born where? In the Arab world. So are you telling us that people in the Arab world are white? If you guys are claiming, by the way, it's not even the issue now. The issue is this quotation from Exodus 22, line 22 to 24. Chapter 22, line verse 22 to 24. You shall not mistreat any widow or fatherless child. What about those immigrants that you guys are mistreating? What did Jesus Christ say about the desperate people? We should receive them. Do you remember when Jesus was preaching on the mountain? The Sermon on the Mountain. The crowd came to him, they were hungry. The apostles wanted to chase them so they could eat. What did Jesus do? No. We will feed them first before we eat. Because these people are desperate. These people are hungry. So we cannot just tell them to go away. If Americans can put that into practice, then all these things that ICE is doing is going to stop. So it says, you shall not mistreat any widow or fatherless child. If you do not mistreat them, and they cry out to me, I will surely hear their cry. And my wrath will burn, and I will kill you with the sword. And your wives shall become widows, and your children fatherless. This is directly what is happening to America. This is what is happening to America. What about all those victims that were raped? Sorry, YouTube. The Justice Department, even Dan Bongino, when he was assistant director of the FBI, he did not even sit to speak with these girls. These girls are crying. They are saying, please, please, we want you guys to listen to us. So if he could not even sit down with these victims, they are also mothers. They are people's children. He himself could not sit with them to listen to them. And they are begging for the government to listen to them. And then he comes and put this quote. Because they are all in support of Erika Kirk. Because they are all trying to kick against what Candace Owens is doing. Candace Owens is just looking for accountability. She's just trying to get to the bottom of it. Because all what the FBI have been saying so far, things are not aligning. So once things are not aligning, people will start asking questions. When people start asking questions, answers need to be looked for. So, Dan Bongino, this is bullshit. This is bullshit. I'll take this off my screen. But yeah, Candace Owens is about to release and profit off an entire series dedicated to exposing Charlie Kirk's widow. I was about to read that, but it's gone. I want to listen to Dan Bongino.
Business career in platforms that allow people to speak. I fully support that. I do not support any kind of censorship efforts at all. That's a full stop. I just want that out of the way right now. And I'm not suggesting anyone else is saying that either. But folks, this isn't part of any movement I'm familiar with. Hey, man, I don't know. Maybe this movement's evolved into something different and it's outgrown me and my friends of mine who, you know, always wanted to conserve generational truths. So be it. But
sometimes I wonder how these people get Americans convinced with this fake anger. You were put in a position to do what you are doing now. You were put in a position to actually do something for the country. You were put in a position where you could, because if he was still director of FBI, it was easy to say, oh, Candace Owens, we want to see you at the FBI head office. Yes. If you guys really think she's doing something wrong, you were in the position where you could say, Candace Owens, you are someone. Come to the FBI head office. Let's speak to you. Because they can do that. If the FBI calls you in the office, you can never say no. But now you are sat there because you are still trying to keep peddling the conspiracy and trying to debunking something that you don't even know. I just find these people so, I don't know. Americans, you guys.
Infighting. This is not infighting because, again, this kind of stuff is not in any movement I am a part of or want to be a part of. Not now, not ever. Just like I don't want to be a part of any movement that practices Jew hatred, racism, anti-black, anti-Hispanic, anti-Muslim, anything else. I don't want to be part of that movement either.
Isn't that really funny? Isn't that really funny when you hear somebody who supports everything Trump say that he doesn't want to be a part of a movement that is anti-Muslim, anti-Jew, is he going to say anti-trans too? Was he about to say that? You say that, and you yourself, before you were given the job, you spent hours and hours talking about the Epstein files, talking how it is a cover-up, saying that Epstein did not kill himself. And as soon as you get the job, one of the biggest jobs in America, you get the job and you change like 360. All of a sudden, there's nothing to see here. Oh, Jeffrey Epstein killed himself. Oh, I've looked into the files. There's really nothing. But you don't speak to the victims. Because there's no way you are going to tell me that these guys are doing a good job when they have not yet speak to the women who were raped by Epstein and his friends. There is no way. Because those girls, they know all those who did this to them. They know where it happened, what time it happened, who was there, who saw what was happening and didn't say anything. So unless you speak to those girls, because yeah, the files are there, but the first-hand information comes from the girls. Unless they are telling us that the girls are lying. Because if the girls are lying, then those files have no use. Because if the girls are lying, if you don't want to speak to the girls, assuming that they're lying, then those files are all bullshit. Anyway, people, if you want to see all of this, go to Dan Bongino's Facebook page, YouTube page, and you'll see his rant. You'll see the anger in his face. And I think I need to come back and react to all of this video because I've been reading comments that he was almost in tears, or he was actually in tears. Yeah, I need to react to all of these videos. Anyway, I need to go to work. I missed the time for my session this morning, so I need to go and get it done. We love making videos, but we still have something that we do for work. Please We are almost there. It is slow, but it will eventually happen. I'm trying to get to 100,000 subs. And your subs, you subscribing, will take me closer to that 100,000 mark. Also like the video and comment. And tell me what you think about Americans. Is America the most evil country? Are Americans dumb? Do they actually use their brain? Let me know in the comment section and I'll see you back. I'm out.